Welcome, travelling friends of Australia. We are Vellam and Annika, and we hope you enjoy this episode of our podcast,
where we have a chat to other travellers and give them the opportunity to tell their stories and share the tips that they've learned along the way. Hey guys, so for today's episode, we've got Jed and Suzy. They are called Keeping Up with the Little Joneses. We're going to hear all about their story and how they started travelling. Let's welcome Jed and Suzy.
Welcome.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hi, we're good. How are you?
Hey guys, how are you?
We're good as well. Yeah, we're really excited to chat to you guys tonight and hear about your story. So first of all, can you maybe just give us an introduction of who you are and just...
Do you want to go first?
Okay, yeah, I'm Suzy. Hi. So I've been in Australia for 8.5 years. I moved over from the UK, and pretty much the first thing I wanted to do was go out camping and exploring, and I was convinced everything out there was going to kill me. So, yeah, typical Pom. And then I met this guy pretty quickly, and he told me that everything out there was going to kill me and that I had to stay close to him to be safe. And pretty much spent the first couple of years believing I'm a bit gullible, I guess. Yeah. But it worked, you know. You kept me close enough to marry me, so yeah.
And I'm Jed. I grew up on the East Coast and moved over to WA about 15 years ago. Me and Suze met on an oil rig about 8 years ago, down in the Bass Strait. Because you worked on seismic vessels and...
Yeah, I worked on seismic and did all kind of fun things before, and then ended up down in the Bass Strait in the middle of winter, which is it's a bit rough.
Yeah.
A bit cold. Yeah, met little
romance on the rig, and I've always been into outdoorsy stuff. Like when I first moved to WA, I lived in a tent for like a year and a half up in Exmouth, and
nice.
Just like dived and adventures and
great,
stuff.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've been trying to get him to get back to that ever since.
Yeah, and me and Suze started seeing each other. It was she wanted to like travel and check out Australia, and so I obliged.
Yeah.
I think we started out with like
a little dome tent. It was like a $12 dome tent from Big W.
We still got it.
It's our backup tent.
Yeah. And just evolved from there.
Yeah.
Just been like touring around, checking stuff out, mostly geological stuff, because Suze is a geologist.
Yeah, I'm a complete geo geek, so I just love going to all the cool different landscapes and but it seems to suit both of us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like hiking, and I like hiking to places.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we've just been, I suppose, working towards taking it on the road full time, pretty much, eh?
Yeah, because working sucks.
Yeah, no.
Oh, my job.
So who wouldn't want to just tour around and?
Yeah, I guess that's the second half of the story, isn't it? Is that when we had the family, and we've got Maddie who's 3 and Letty who's 1, and I just wanted to keep going. Like every time we were on the road and we'd see something and we'd be so happy, and then before you know it, we're like, oh, got to go back now because just got to go back to work.
Yeah.
So we started working towards. We had this idea that we wanted to do a lap, and then we're like, why just a lap? Why not just live full time?
Yeah, just keep doing it.
Keep doing it. So we sort of started getting financially ready for that, and work-wise ready for it. And when I gave birth to Violet, Jed came into the hospital like the next day to visit, and he's like, I'm setting the date.
Yeah.
We are going a year. When she turns 1, we're going to go.
Yeah.
And that was a few weeks ago. So we're not far off, huh?
Yeah.
COVID. Not far off.
Yeah.
COVID.
But the stars have aligned a bit for us. Like my work, my current work on the rig I've been working on for the last few years is like finished up. So I've been telling it like joking that I got made, that I'm retired, but a bit early for that.
Why not? Retirement doesn't always mean age. It means when you stop working.
Yeah. Well, I'm retired. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully I'm retired from the oil field, and the next work's going to be more passion projects for us, and just involving our lifestyle in our money earning, I suppose. Making it work for us, I suppose,
and not needing so much. That's the big thing we found, is not needing
minimize
so many belongings and things that cost money. And we can look at it now and go, oh, that's really nice, but I don't need to purchase it. And that's freed us up a lot to not need as much stuff and not need to spend as much money. We don't need it.
No, we don't.
Just causes us stress.
We need the car and the caravan.
I need that,
but not the house full of stuff.
Yeah, talking about that, tell us a bit about yourself. What do you run there?
Well, we've evolved, like we said, from like a $12 Kmart tent to we had a rooftop tent and a soft little camp trailer. We had a Prado, 2 Prados, and now we have a 2013 GXL 200 series Land Cruiser, which we've gotten pretty pretty well set up for remote touring, just on its own. And we've also purchased a Parks 18 Easy Trail off-road caravan about 6 months ago. Awesome. So we traded up pretty big, because when we decided we were going to do our lap, we had a soft floor camp trailer, and that was brilliant. It was huge, it was amazing, but it's just so much setting up, man.
Yeah, we have one.
Yeah, we know.
It takes so long, don't it?
If you're going to be anywhere, for more than 3 days, it's worth it. But just doing sneaky overnighters and stuff, it's just, a bit too much hard work, too many poles and too much canvas. So,
and I guess with 2 kids, you need some more room, something that's more like a home. Like, you obviously invest money into something bigger because it's going to be a home.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And that's sort of where, because we were going to get a hard floor. We were going to get a dual fold camper. What do I call them?
Dual fold camper.
We were going to get one of those, and they're quite big and they're great. They've got the kitchen. I wanted storage. That was kind of the main thing, was I didn't want to be living out of bags, because that's annoying.
Yeah.
It's fine if you're going camping for a week or 2, but if you're living that way, that just is too much. And then we went camping just before Christmas last year up to Jurien Bay, and it was beautiful. Yes, I'm going to tell everyone about this, because it's real.
It is real, isn't it?
It's real. But we were camping, and it was beautiful, and it was about 40 degrees there, wasn't it? And the wind came up, and we all got gastro, and we were like,
we all got sick.
I'm not living on the road unless we have a toilet and aircon.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah.
So we were like, that's what made us. That was the decision maker, wasn't it? To get an actual caravan.
Yeah, but it was one of the nicest little camp spots. Sandy Cape. You've probably been there. Sandy Cape, north of Jurien Bay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. There's a great little spot, but it was a deciding factor that we may need something more than a tiny little porta potty and a bucket to shower with. So much. So
and we were camping with friends, and we all got it.
Yeah.
So there was 3 adults and 5. One toilet, no shower, and no aircon.
But that's sometimes that is reality of touring.
Yeah. Anyhow, that's our setup.
It doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen to everyone.
No.
It's really fun. We've been sick.
Yeah, it's the only time we've ever been, we've been sick camping, out of all the years and all the places we've gone and stuff. So, yeah.
So what's our setup? Yeah, that's our setup.
200 series, 18-foot off-roader.
Hybrid van.
Hybrid, yeah.
Because we want to cook outdoors.
Yeah. And we've torture tested it pretty much.
I think we've taken that more extreme places than probably the people who tested them did.
Yeah.
But we're going to be off-road.
Yeah. Got it hold a couple of times already. Had to pull it out with a snap strap.
The max tracks have been under a few times.
No, it's what you buy it
Get
for.
the use out of it. It's good stuff.
What's the point otherwise, right? What's the point?
Yeah, it's already got a lot of scratches on it and stuff. Well, yeah.
We've had no dramas.
No, it's been really good. So yeah, we feel totally comfortable and ready to rock. We're just, tidying up loose ends now.
Yeah. That's good stuff. You've had a sort of a steady trend of camping life, and then now you sort of started from the bottom, and now you've sort of settled in, and you've done your test runs, you're ready to go. Everything just needs to line up. But how do you see a recognition in the kids? Do they sort of realise what's going on? Or because our kids are a similar age, and we're sort of planning our trip, and I'm just sort of thinking about that now.
They're saying they want to go camping.
How are they going to react?
Oh, they love it. Maddie loves it. She's been camping. We took her on a first trip from Mandurah up to Exmouth, stopping everywhere on the way when she was 3 months old. And then we went again when she was about 8 or 9 months. Since then, she's been every few months at least, if not every 2 months.
They're actually probably more used to camping and being outdoors than they are at home. There's a massive change in their temperaments and attitudes compared to when they're at home or when they're away, which was a big factor in us deciding.
It was the sleep thing, wasn't it?
It was, and I think it's better.
Maddie's always been a difficult sleeper. She was a brilliant newborn, amazing. And then sleep at about 5 months became difficult, and that's really probably why we didn't go out for a long. Well, I say a long time, maybe 6 months. But we noticed she was always easy. She would sleep. She'd go to sleep and stay asleep when we're camping, no matter what. If she was breastfed to sleep or had a bottle or cuddled or went to sleep on her own, she was easy. And then we'd come home and it would be a nightmare. And we're like, what is happening? And we realized we were actually meeting her needs better when we were in the caravan or the camper van. And I think it was a couple of things. Firstly, every evening we'd go we'd have something to eat and then go for a walk and then sit and watch the sun go down. And we'd usually walk not far, but up to like a little hill or like the top of the breakaways or something. And then literally physically watch the sun go down behind over the horizon, and she'd go, go to bed now. And we'd walk back and she'd go to bed. And we're like, this is so easy. This is stripping it right back to basics. And now it's almost 9 o'clock and she's sitting there watching her iPad. So, there's artificial light here and noise and TV and that kind of stuff. But her mood was so much better. She was happier. And I think that's because we didn't say no as much. You're out at the shop or you're out anywhere with people, oh no, don't do that, oh don't touch that, don't do this, don't run across the road. Whereas when you're out camping, especially if you're free camping or on a station or something like that, they've got so much space and freedom, and they entertain themselves so much. And we've noticed it now with Letty she just turned 1. So, when she was little, she first went out, we took her down the Margaret River at 9 weeks old. Again, she slept better. Maybe it's the fresh air, but it was easier. We've always said, why are we doing this at home? This is so hard, being at home with the rules, the social etiquette and the crowds. And Maddie doesn't seem to like crowds that much. So going to the shop, if it's busy, can be a bit of a nightmare. So let's just go and do it. We're all happier.
Oh, totally.
Maybe because we're more chilled out.
I'm a firm believer in nature therapy. I'm a bit of a proud owner of a lot of personality glitter. I suppose it's a nice way of saying it. And one of the part of my mental health plan is like nature-based therapy. It got me into like long distance hiking and just camping and being outdoors in general. And it just helps me. Hey, it calms me, soothes my soul. And I don't know if that reflects everyone around me.
Like I think it probably does.
I think all of us. It's just as a family unit. We just operate better when we're not in confined suburbia, I suppose.
But also I think Maddie now, and Violet as well, but Maddie being older, They are. She finds a lot to entertain herself with on a station or in a national park. There's always, she loves museums. So she'll get bored at home and go, oh, can we go camping? I want to go see a museum. Because all of the stations have a little old museum full of old rusty stuff and, you know, old bottles and things.
Yeah.
She loves that.
Yeah.
And you tell her we're going on a treasure hunt and she'll walk 5 kilometres with you looking for treasure. And she likes little rocks and looking for lizards and things. So
they don't need toys, they just need some leaves and sticks.
We don't even take toys with us.
Our son, we went camping for the first time in a long time, and on a station for a whole week. Yeah. And our son
he just picked up rocks all day. That's all he did.
They were just different little human beings, you know? Yeah. And it's right what you said. I think it's being connected. You're just on a different vibe out there, like you're connected to the earth, you get the fresh air. Hi. You know, it's Well, talking about the sort of living in the outdoors, and you know that's where you want to live. Any favourite destinations or destinations that you're thinking of heading to straight away on your launch of your trip? Or?
Do you see this map here? With all the drawing all over it.
Yeah. Nice.
So you're going to do WA first, or?
That's been up there.
Yeah. So
for,
given the current,
like 2 years.
Yeah. Given the current situation, the current world climate, we're not probably going to be able to get out of WA for a while.
But we're not too bothered.
Yeah, because I'd always planned, I always knew in myself that when we started this, it'd probably take me 2 years to get out of WA at least.
Is this
massive and it's heaps to see.
Oh man, like
if you don't have it at a stop, you can take your time.
Yeah, not a challenge, but just so we make sure we see everything. We wanted to try and visit every national park in WA.
Yeah.
From the get go, like we've already seen heaps of them, but
we want to go all of them.
And there's a couple of special spots like Columbaroo, Honeymoon Beach, which is way up deep in the Kimberley. Wolf Creek Crater.
I want to see Pernalulu.
I'm not super keen on doing Canning Stock Route just because it's, you know,
so remote
and so much planning and expenditure for, you know, I don't think there's, besides saying that you drove the Canning Stock Route, I'm not sure if there's anything really super.
Yeah, anything in between.
Oh, there's Shoemaker Crater, which is 1.65 billion years old.
Is that the one that you can't actually see?
Yeah, you can't see it from the surface.
Geology, man.
What is that?
I know.
But
I want to explore around Karangini more. Like we've gone and done Karangini, but I want to explore it more deeply and maybe not so much the tourist track parts, and see about doing it slightly more away from the touristy areas and explore the park itself more, because you can.
I heard a rumour from a friend who went there with a friend who happened to work for a mining company up there and had access to all of their maps, that there's a lot of trails that you can do that aren't on the tourist maps. But also, I think we'll wait till Nanny and Grandad come over, who's stuck in England right now, because I want them to watch the kids, because I want to go and do all of the abseiling and all those gorges you have to have rope access to. That would be really cool.
Close to South Coast too. Like we haven't gone to Cape Arid National Park yet.
No.
Where
would be the top of your list? I really like Walpole in Denmark. Is gorgeous, and we've spent maybe a month there, but I feel like you could spend a lot longer there, and I want to go. I tell you where I really want to go. I really want to go to Black Point, which is like halfway between
it's near Jaeger Dunes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like an hour west of Jaeger Dunes or something.
So
but you can only go in the summer, because in the winter it's too rainy and the road goes over all these marshes and things. And it's a nice little free camp. It might not even be a free camp, but it's a little tent. You got to have, like, you can take the caravan down there because it's a bit of a rough road. So we'll take the swags. But what is really cool is that you go and you camp down there, and it's quite exposed on the beach, but it's got all this black columnar basalt. So if you think of like a giant's causeway, an island, and all of those hexagons or pentagons, that's Maddie taking pictures on the iPad. That's funny nice. So it's got all this columnar basalt that you can climb around, and we've been there. And that was. Do you want to stop her doing that? Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that.
I can't hear it.
But so it's got all this cool stuff. If you stand there and look to, it might be 4 or 5 kilometers down the other end of the bay, there's this huge cliff with like limestone or something on top, the usual kind of coastline that you see in WA. And then under it, there's probably 40 or 50 meters of straight lines that's all this columnar basalt. I think that would be so cool to go and see.
Yeah.
So one day, maybe I'll probably have to wait till the summer. We might go and take the spiders down there. And then I'll go out at night and walk all the way along and take a really cool astrophotography photo of all that. So that's top of my list.
Sorry, I'm nodding my head here, but you being a geologist, I have no clue what the stone looks like.
Oh, it's so cool. I'll send you a picture. So, like Giant's Causeway, so it's all black, but when the lava cools underground, it cools in such a way that it contracts, and you get these cooling fractures, but they fracture in a very particular orientation, which is why you get almost like
it's like a honeycomb effect.
Almost like a honeycomb effect if you look straight down.
Wow.
But if you look at it, it's dead straight lines.
It's just a really, very, very striking environment. Yeah, it's pretty.
Well, we'll put that on our list. We only have one little thing here before we sort of conclude. Do you got any advice for anyone that wants to get camping or want to live this lifestyle that you're setting out to do?
Yes.
Yes.
You go first.
All right, I'll try and say this because I usually have like a little pre-prepared speech that I do tell people. I'll try and keep it PG rated, but because there is an R-rated version and it's very short, just cut it out. I'll tell you anyway. Just fucking do it. Just make it happen. Like that's if you really truly want to do it and you really truly want to live an outdoor lifestyle, which I think everyone should. Like it's much more. I suppose like aesthetic lifestyle to be like outside and part of the world.
It's good for you.
It is. It's good for everybody. I think but you don't need a 200 series. You don't need an 18-foot off-road caravan. Those things are amazing, but
you could do it in a $12 Kmart tent.
You can do it in a $12 Kmart tent and a $10 inflatable mattress in stuffed into a bag in the back of a Toyota Yaris.
Yeah.
You want it, yeah.
And drive to Wave Rock like we did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'd say. Yeah. We've met people who are doing it with, $300,000 setups, and then people who are doing it on probably $10,000, and then people in soft floors. And we met that lovely family who'd been on the road for 2.5 years with the soft floor. You just, you do what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
And the other advice I'd say is it's a lot easier to give up your creature comforts than you think it's going to be.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, the things you live with that you think you couldn't live without, it's actually quite easy.
Yeah. Don't wait until you're retired. Not, my age. Old guy. Actually retired. Don't wait for it.
Live now.
Yeah, do it now.
You never know what's around the corner.
Yeah, we only get one spin around, so just make it happen.
Do it one.
Yeah.
And you can make it happen on any budget.
Yeah.
Especially now, because now you can get paid to go out and pick fruit, and there's a hell of a lot of incentives too. So that's something we've been thinking about. Even though we've got some money from the redundancy, we've been thinking, we could go somewhere and
experience it. Yeah, we thought even be a big
even if we don't have cash, we'll just do it.
We're both quite qualified. I've got I do degrees for the fun of it because I quite like studying. And Jed knows his stuff about what he does, but the times when we were probably the happiest was when we were doing bar work. And Jed, you often say your time you were happiest was cleaning toilets up in a caravan park.
In Exmouth.
Up in
Before
Exmouth.
I started, living in a tent, I was cleaning the ablution blocks in a caravan park, and getting to go diving and enjoying, enjoying Exmouth. But don't people use kids as another excuse. Like, they'll come up with every excuse in the world not to go out. They're like, I'd love to do what you guys do, but this.
I'm like, no, there's no but.
No, there is no buts. Just,
if you want, people need to remember even if you go with a Yaris and a $12 tent, that's not going to be your setup forever. Like, if you're single and you get married and then you have kids, you evolve and your camping style changes. And then you might have a big setup, but then later on in life you might move to a smaller setup again. It's just all up to change.
If you want to do it, then just do it. So I guess just the last one before we wrap up is just your socials. So where people can find you. I think you've got a YouTube channel and you're obviously going to pump it up now.
Follow your amazing journey, because it sounds like it's going to be so good.
We've got like 2 videos. It's going wild. Keeping Up with Little Joneses on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and keepingupwithtlittlejoneses.com is my website, which I've just completely revamped. But I haven't put much new content on. We've got so much to write.
I know.
But I've got baby brain, so.
Pretty much, Keeping Up with Little Joneses on all the socials. Yeah. If you want some edgier stuff, follow Jed's Outlook, which is my personal Instagram, which is more like behind the scenes, day to day of what it's like to be one of the Joneses.
And I think what a good segment for you could be is doing some geo things and just teach people little things. So like a little side note project for you, maybe that'd be good. I would love to learn about.
I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do a little side segment called. It's gonna be something like Sue's Tube or Suzy Talks Geology or something like that.
Yeah, I think that'll work. I would look forward to that.
Yeah, and it'll mostly be me just rambling on, getting really excited about stuff. But lots of cool stuff around, and you can go and see it. And everyone misses it. Like, for example, in Kalbarri. In Kalbarri, when you go down to Nature's Window, you pass this little trace fossils. They're about as wide as your hand, and there's just dots, a series of dots in a line, or 2 lines of dots. And what they are, those are the footprints of things called eurypterids. And they were some of the first life ever to come out of sea onto land about 420 to 450 million years ago. And there's actual footprints, and they're right there. And you can go and stick your finger in it, walk your fingers along the footprints. But the first life.
We were actually there a couple of months ago.
Crazy.
Yeah, everyone walks straight past it.
Everyone walks past it.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting.
Show, to say that it's there? Or?
There's one little signpost.
There's a park bench. There's like a bench just before Nature's Window and a small plaque. And if you look straight between your feet when you're reading the plaque, there's the footprints.
Yeah. Well,
actually, I think the park is actually up at the top.
Yeah, but it's at the small that bench just before Nature's Window.
It's just that bench. Yeah. There's a little wooden bench.
People there.
Yeah, but good tip. We'll look out for them.
Yeah, that's the best thing, and nobody knows about it. So I'm going to do a YouTube channel about it.
Yeah, do it. There's lots of people, especially the people traveling, who loves to see like things like that. They don't just always want to see the tourist attractions. They want to see things that are
exactly. And I find that the information out there isn't very. There isn't much of it. So you can go to somewhere like Mount Augustus and go, well, it says it's the biggest rock in the world, but what does that mean? Why is it the biggest rock? I couldn't even find the answer to that, because it's not one rock. But let's not get into semantics.
Don't rag on the national parks, man.
No, but like there's all these cool things, and there's another layer of story there. But what I find interesting is there's probably other layers of stories, culturally or other types of, ecology, maybe geography that I don't know, that would be just as interesting. So I like reading about all that stuff. I only know one thing.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on the podcast. It was such a great chat.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, guys.